Welcome to my first construct tutorial, which will quickly show you how to set a default for a function parameter, which is always good to prepare for the scenario where a parameter is not passed, or if there is a common value you want to use unless a parameter is passed. What we will start with for this demonstration is a simple layout of text and two sprites which we will use as buttons. On the event page, we will create events for when these two sprites are clicked on, which will both call the same function. Let me set up the function first. Although this is an unnecessary step, I'm going to add a local variable just for readability purposes. I will set the local variable based on the function's first parameter using a ternary operator. If you aren't familiar with ternary operators, it is basically a single line if statement used in many programming languages. The syntax is you write the condition followed by a question mark, then the result if true, followed by a colon, then the result if false. If still confused on ternary operators, I advise you look it up and learn, as they really aren't complicated. They're just a little confusing at first glance, and they are very useful, especially in construct. So our ternary operator here is setting our local variable to our parameter if our parameter exists. If our parameter does not exist, I'm setting it in this case to some text. Then we will use the local variable to set the text. That is it for our function. Now I will have the two click events call this same function, but one will pass a parameter and one won't. When we preview this project, I can now click the two sprites, text will change. One line of text is coming from the parameter in the click event, and the other uses the fallback or default text setup function. Let me disable our ternary operator and simply set the text to the first pass parameter to demonstrate the difference. As you can see, the text line that is passed as a parameter still shows up, but since we disabled the ternary operator that set the default, the other text is simply set to 0 because there is no parameter passed. Caution though, this means that the ternary operator is essentially checking if the parameter equals 0 or an empty string, which I found after some testing. So keep that in mind in case your circumstances would need a pass parameter of 0 not to fall back to your default. I hope you found this useful. Now there are other ways to achieve the same thing, such as the system event compare two values or the function event compare parameter, but I find this method makes your events much more concise and readable. As I said at the beginning, this is my first tutorial, so please let me know if you have any feedback or questions, and thanks for watching.